UK?
Well, I think it depends on what kind of research. Like, you know, you have sort of, what do you call those, conferences and seminars which help you decide which engineering course to go to and which medical school to go to, depending on what you're interested in. But unfortunately, as they call it, counseling here, I believe. But unfortunately, they do not have such counseling counseling sessions for film, like he rightly put it, because film is not considered a formal profession yet. And so because of that, a lot of people find out through the web and through, you know, media and everything that there are schools abroad, and they do realize that when we have very efficient film institutes here and Pune and everywhere else, but they do realize that they feel maybe they can get a better exposure when they go abroad, and maybe a little more hands-on experience when they go to the US or the UK. Because what happens there is just like you would be an intern when you're working in an IT industry or something, you'd be put and attached with a company. Same way you'd be attached to a studio or a film over there, which helps you actually train and understand what it is like on the job and not just sitting in a classroom.
But do you see that, do you see that as a problem?
Problem as in, like, let me tell you why I went abroad to study. Quite simply because the area I wanted to specialize in is not something that's practiced widely in India. I do sync sound recording. So sync sound is not something that it is done, but not very widely prevalent. So it made better sense for me to go abroad to study that. But in other aspects as well. For one, there aren't that many film institutes in India. There are, compared to, say, the US or the UK even. There aren't that many film schools. There are a handful of really good ones, but that's about it. Considering the population of India and the number and the size of the industry, as you put it, there aren't enough film schools. So it's you know, and even when it comes to admission to film school, the kind of people who would want to go into formal education, again, that's a very, very tiny group. You know. Most people prefer to learn on the job, and that probably says a lot about film education in India, that people wouldn't prefer to go to a film school to study. You know, probably they're making a better choice by, you know, apprenticing with a director. So
that's the case here.
It is.
Well, how expensive are these courses?
Well, in India?
Yes.
In India, the premier institute, say for example Pune, isn't very expensive at all from all I know, because it's fairly subsidized. But then the private institutes, say for example the Prasad Academy or Whistling Woods, they are expensive. But then well, the personal example of Prasad, it again is quite heavily subsidized by Mr. Ramesh Prasad, who wants to promote film education. So it isn't, considering what you would get out of it, these courses aren't expensive at all. No, again, putting it very bluntly, you go out to become a filmmaker, and if you're successful, you can earn so many more times what you would spend on film school.
Well, not so true. It depends which one you are.
It will take you 10 years to get there, but then yes, at the end of 10 years you will.
I think in India, I think the courses range anywhere between 1 lakh and 3 lakhs per year, and depending on what course you choose, if I have my statistics right. And abroad, it would cost you anywhere between around 10 lakhs. I think that's what you get at, I mean, at the end of the day, per year.
Okay. Let's just, a lot of viewers have written in with their questions, so I'll just take one of them. Satish Kumar, very interesting question. He says, hey guys, I'm a mechanical engineer and I'm working in a multinational company, but I'm very creative and I want to do a course in filmmaking. Please tell me how to go about it.
We get that a lot. A lot of the engineers, I mean, half the time when I'm talking to people from IT, they're like, oh, we're so tired of IT, we want to get into film. Film is what our passion is. And it's really nice because, you know, better late than never to realize what your dreams are. And I think the best thing for Satish Kumar would be to my personal opinion is before you should sign up for a film school, but just before that, take your handycam out there, get people together, your friends who could be actors, who could not be actors, but you know, just do a short film. I mean, it's for your own viewing thing, and then so that when you go into film school, however, you know, first year or foundation it may be, it will definitely help you to understand what aspects are there, because you'd know then, are you good at being a cameraman, are you good at directing actors, are you good, at editing, I mean, you just find out. And most of these, like for example, just like a software, like for example, which we all started off with, which was called Adobe Premiere. And with that, it's so simple. I mean, you don't really have to sit in a class to learn editing. You can just take a computer and, download the software, buy it legitimately, and then go ahead and just play around with it, just like you'd play around with any software. Being an IT person, I think it should be much easier for him that way, so that he'll get an idea about what he's good at and what he can. This is what filmmaking is about before he gets into formal education. But I definitely vouch for formal education. I think it definitely helps a lot.
Okay. Now, Shruti writes in from Alvarpet saying that she's a law student but also wanted to be a cinematographer. But what qualities should one have to become a good cinematographer, and how can she pursue it?
Okay. Cinematography, again, you need to be able to take good pictures. So you can start off by taking again, as she says, take your handy cam out and start taking, just see if you can frame properly, just see if you have the eye, as they say it.
Yes.
And then go ahead and try and discuss it with your friends. And today, again, technology and what the internet allows is, you can make your little film, put it on YouTube, and you can have people from all over the world commenting on it. So that's probably the best kind of feedback.
Facebook, YouTube,
exactly.
social networking.
So that's the best way to get feedback, and it's not from your own group of people who would probably lie to you just to encourage you, but it's from, a ruthless Brazilian sitting somewhere saying, that's no good. So,
Okay.
I've seen
response is the best.
And it's definitely a bigger market than the number of theaters we have here. So.
Yes. Coming back to Chennai, let's just quickly take a look at some of the institutes to look out for in Chennai which offer film studies. We just go over this one by one. There's the MGR Film and Television Institute, the LV Prasad Film and TV Academy, where Anand used to teach. There's Mindscreen Film Institute, the South India Film Institute, and the Junior Film Institute as well. So not too many, but looking at the future now, I mean, it has to pick up. But what do you think needs to be done?
Well, I think letting it be, because quite frankly, compared to 5 years ago, now the situation is better. So, which means that people in the industry have started recognizing the value of formal education. Students have started realizing the thing, and unfortunately in our country you still have to look out for parents to realize that it's ideally it should be the personal choice of the student, but yes, parents have also started realizing it's still a decent career for my son to go into.
Okay.
So it's
I think most of it is that when filmmakers who take so much from the industry should also give it back. Like, you wanting to do more for film rather than seeing it as an individual thing, what can you do for them? And like what we were thinking is we're setting up a studio where you have everything under one roof, and we also want to bring an American institute into Chennai to have that kind of an affiliation with the American university, so that you have formal education here as well, and the attraction for them would be to go and work in Hollywood as part of the intern courses. So when you have, I'm sure the couple of other people in the industry who are trying to do the same as well. They want to give back to the industry whatever they've taken from it. So I think when people want to see it as a profession, I think that's the first step towards anything.
It's a lot of opportunity. I think that's the best way to wrap up this discussion. Thank you both so much for coming in and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thanks for your time.
Right, now don't forget to tune in to this special segment tomorrow. Now if you have any queries or doubts, please send us an email. You can write into us at feedback@ndtv-hindu.com, and we'll get the experts to answer it. Stay with us, there's lots more coming up on the other side.
We'll be right back.